Hey guys, welcome back again. Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back to the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So we're back again for yet another unbox. This time around, we are entering the land of the Masters of the Universe. That's right. We are revisiting the Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelations. This is the toy line based off of the Netflix series, which is a dark, skewed continuation of the original He-Mans and the Masters of the Universe back in the 80s. So, you guys have heard me talk about the show before. We're not getting into the politics of the show, but these are some tremendous figures. I love these figures. Long story short, I keep telling people, it's a cross between if you took a Hasbro figure and you mashed it with a NECA. It's the best of both worlds. So, this time around we have Man-at-Arms. Of course, you know Man-at-Arms. He's the one from the original series. He was basically head of the guard at the palace, head of the Eternia's army, but also he knew Adam's secret. And he also intimately knew the sorceress. And also father to Tila. So, in the show, obviously he has a very unique relationship and dynamic in the show. And, I mean, he's just badass. He's badass. I mean, just in the box, he looks badass right there. You know, he's got his mallet, his basher, if you would call it that. We get 4 different types of extra hands there, guys. We have 2 pairs of extra hands for him. I'm curious to check those out because 2 of them have additional armoring on the glove and 2 do not. They did not give us an extra head, which I kind of wish they would have. Because this is not spoilery. In the show, you see him without the helmet, and you see him with the helmet. Without the helmet, I think that would have been pretty cool since they gave us alternate heads for, well, Faker, of course. They gave us alternate heads for Evil Lynn. So that would have been cool if they could have gave us an extra, alternate head with, Man-at-Arms with just his long hair. That would have been pretty badass right there. Now, let's take a look at the art. Of course, we got Man-at-Arms Duncan standing all defiant and like ready to go to battle at any time. We got the branding Man-at-Arms. And what does it say? Man-at-Arms, heroic master of weapons. Because he is a master of the universe. Now on the back, let's check out the art. Of course, again, we have him ready to bash. We see the figures that are part of that you can also collect. We have He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Tila, Skeletor, Beastman, and Spikor. Okay, and there's many more that are also available. I hear Wave 3 is already out. Fellow YouTuber Nathan Bowden Show, which I'll have a link in his channel in the video description below. He's been getting his hands on Wave 3 already. That crazy, crazy man. So here we are. Let's take a look at the text. We have bound by duty and honor to the Royal Guard of Eternia. The man whose friends referred to him as Duncan protect the realm under the mantle of Man-at-Arms. Considered to be one of the most powerful allies in the battle against evil, Man-at-Arms is a warrior, an inventor, a mentor to Presanum, a friend to the forces of good, and father to Tila and Roboto, and fights to protect them all. That's another one. I haven't seen Roboto yet. I'm hoping to that they'll release him because he was actually, I think in the cartoon they did a really good representation of him, and I think that would translate extremely well over to figure form. So let's get right into this, guys. Let's break out my buddy Bat Knife, or should I say Bat Blade. Let's break this right on open, guys. So there we go. I always love the nice little detail because I mean you can use this as kind of a stand display for your collections. I always like that. So let's take a look here. We get Man-at-Arms, his scepter, his battle basher, if you call it, and we get some alternate hands here. So I'm gonna check those out in just a second. Let me just get all the plastic out first to save you guys from all of that noise. Okay. Few things I'm noticing right off the bat as soon as I got him out. So the one armored hand right here, that is his left hand, and this is also his left hand. So obviously the armoring goes down just his left side, just as we have this armor and gauntlet going down that side. So these two are the right hands the ones that are not. So that explains that mystery. Now, one thing I'm not liking right off the bat is this is all loose. Look at this. This is just loose and janky. It doesn't appear to connect onto anything. This is obviously something that we can remove from him. It pegs right off, but it's very loose there, guys. There's nothing to really hold this on. There's no way to fasten it. It's just very loose. I'm not liking that. Also, like with Skeletor and He-Man, you can actually take the armor off of him. I'm not quite sure why you would. I mean, there are certain scenes in the show that, you know, where you would see him maybe not in full armoring. But they didn't give us those accessories to put him in that proper costume, so to speak. I mean, this is very loose, and obviously we can take this off, and if we take this off, it's just going to be his green tunic, as it were. Okay? I mean, you can see right here, you can remove it, just like you can with He-Man's armor, if you wanted to. It just simply unfastens, just like that. Can we take this off without the helmet? Yes. So the helmet obviously can stay on. I mean, I don't get why you do this. I mean, this isn't a body. This is just a tunic. You can also remove the armor from down here, but at least this one is not loose. It's on there nice and tight and snug. I hate to grade down this figure because of this being loose. And, I mean, even this wrist gauntlet, it's not as loose, but it's loose. Again, this would just slide right off once we took his hand off. So, you know, that is the thing you could do. It does, you know what it almost looks like? It almost looks like they kind of cheaped out. Like they took, okay, let's take He-Man's body, scale it down just a hair, and let's just give it a green wash, and then we'll throw this plastic armor on. That's what it kind of feels like, guys. I hate to say that because I've been in love with this collection since it came out. I mean, I actually love the show. I really think they did a great job on the show, but I mean, look at his neck. I mean, we can take the head off, and you can even see his head basically has a big cavity right there. I mean, is that a deal breaker? No, but it's definitely something that's going to kind of nag at you a little bit. It's an annoyance. Okay, that's the most simplest way of putting it. It's an annoyance, and it kind of makes me want to downgrade this this figure. I hate to say that. So, but I mean, the detail on here is pretty cool. I would have liked this if this was more of a metallic finish. You know, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, for the price point of like between $20 to maybe $22 on average, this is pretty good. It's just those little things for the adult collectors. Because let's be honest, Revelations is geared towards the adult fans, not necessarily the kid fans. So I mean, I can accept this being a little loose. I can accept that, but the shoulder armor, it's going to cause me to downgrade this, guys. I hate to say it. So I got the armor back on, and as you can see, I just took his hand off. So I mean, we can see that this slides right off. Make sure you put this on first before you put the next hand on. I'm putting the closed fist onto him. But there you go. I mean, he's a really good looking figure. If you're just going to have him on display, that's perfectly fine. Looks perfectly fine. I mean, he always kind of had his head down so you can't see the cavity underneath his jaw. He's still a very good, solid figure. I love this figure tremendously. I mean, I can't say love, but I mean, I'm very pleased with it. It could be far worse. I have him on a little neck display right here. Because when I got him at the store, that's when I got Tila. You can't break up a family now. So when I got Tila, I saw Man-at-Arms. I'm like, I got to get them both. So, but, I mean, here we are. I mean, he is a good display figure. If you're going to get this for a younger person, I mean, I could see this getting lost or breaking off at some point in time. I mean, it's just, I mean, look how loose that sits. I mean, it slides right down. Unless you have him in a permanent pose and can get that strap on his bicep. Geek Strong. Dino Machino. Little shout out to our brother Geek Strong. He's a fellow YouTuber, does some amazing content, and he's also a fitness guru. I'm going to have a link to his video and to his channel in the video description below as well. But I mean, if you're going to have it just in a pose, stationary position, you're not going to do a whole lot of photography, or you're not going to actually do a lot of movement with him, then he's still an awesome display piece. It's just that now that I know about that, it's just going to annoy the hell out of me. It really is. I mean, at least we can do this pose because that's where he would fire his blast from his gauntlet right there. I would have loved a little bit more, I don't know, the alternate head. I think him with the alternate head with his long hair and tail, I think that would have looked even more badass. I really do. But I mean, it's good representation of Duncan Man-at-Arms. I just would have liked that alternate head would have been pretty cool. And I would have been fine paying an extra, you know, maybe what, $3-4 price point for something like that. Although with Evil Lynn and a few others, they didn't crank up the price. It was still the same price point, but, you know, it is what it is, guys. As far as those who are paint modders, a nice little finish to make this look more metallic looking, the armor that is, I think would be a definite way to go on here. But I love this. I mean, it's a good figure, don't get me wrong. It's not going to get the 10 or the 9 out of 5 that I gave Tila, sorry. But I'm going to have to rate him about, I got to say 8.5 to a 9 at most. 8.5 because of this issue right here. That in the cavity in the jaw right there. Outside of that, I really like this figure. I'm still glad I got him. I'm not mad that I didn't grab him, because, you know, you can't break up a family. Plus, this is going to look cool because when they did the first wave, they had He-Man and Cringer, Battle Cat, I should say, and then they had, I mean, it seemed like for the most part we didn't see Mossman in the stores all that much. We saw Skelegod, Skeletor, Evil Lynn. You had He-Man. It almost seemed like for a while it was 3 against 1. And then, of course, there was Battle Cat and there is Mossman. So it is 3 on 3. But for the most part, it seemed like there was more of a representation of the bad guys versus the good guys. At least in my local stores in the Western New York area of New York State. But there we are. Like I said, 8.5 for him is what I'm going to grade him at. I mean, he could be a 9. But because of those issues, I'm going to grade him at an 8.5. Definitely still worth to get him. If you can grab him, go for it, okay? So there we are, just a quick video, guys. Just want to thank you guys for checking out the channel. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can always hit me up at davesdimensions78@gmail.com or in the comments section below. So until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimensions saying keep on busting, and I will always catch you on the flip side.